Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're diving into something. Well, something that for a lot of folks isn't just about money, It feels almost deeper, maybe even spiritual. Have you ever noticed how some people talk about Bitcoin or Ethereum with this real fervor? Like you might hear from someone describing, I don't know, a religious moment. They'll say things like, oh, I saw the light back in 2015, right? Or they declare HODL forever, no matter what.
Yeah, that ODL thing especially.
Exactly. And HODL isn't just like holding an asset. It feels like an act of faith, yeah. A commitment to endure the rough patches, believing in that ultimate reward. It's almost like spiritual resilience. It goes beyond just cheering for a stock. It's like they're trying to proselytize. And they even have their own kind of sacred texts, white papers instead of scripture, roadmaps maybe instead of gospels. It's really striking when you see it that way.
It really is. And you've definitely put your finger on something important there, what looks like just, market hype. It actually plugs into some really deep human psychological stuff. This isn't just a funny comparison. It seems to be a real phenomenon, especially now in our digital world. So our mission here in this deep dive is to figure out why. Why does crypto feel so much like a religion for so many people? And it often starts with this foundational belief.
Okay.
When someone gets into crypto, particularly early on, it's often way more than just buying something. It's like they're making a statement philosophically. I believe in decentralization.
Right.
I believe in financial freedom. Or we don't need the big banks or the government dictating what money is.
Yeah.
And that belief, it's not just academic. It taps into that basic human drive for autonomy, right?
Yeah.
For a system people feel they can trust more than the old powers.
In a world where trust seems low.
Yeah, exactly. Crypto offers this sort of new deal, maybe a promise of something fairer, more open. And that promise, if you really buy into it, well, it can create a kind of devotion you rarely see outside actual religions.
Yeah.
It hardens,
Yeah.
It becomes a full-blown ideology.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that then. Because once that ideology clicks in, you start seeing these parallels everywhere. It's almost uncanny. Think about the daily rituals. Checking prices nonstop, watching those charts like they're, I don't know, sacred scrolls, trying to read the signs. Or people tuning into online sermons, the AMAs, Twitter spaces.
Listening to the gurus.
Exactly. Where new ideas get preached, visions of the future are laid out. Some folks even donate crypto to causes, like it's their form of tithing, contributing to the ecosystem's good.
Right. Beating the church, so to speak.
And then there are the prophets. Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin's creator, almost a messiah figure, right? Anonymous, vanish.
Ascended, yeah.
But the followers keep the faith alive. And then you've got the apostles, maybe. Vitalik Buterin, Charles Hoskinson, other early figures.
The builders.
And people debate their doctrines. Blockchain forks become like theological schisms, arguing over the true path of decentralization.
It gets intense.
And this is where it gets really wild. The idea of heresy.
Oh, yeah.
Try questioning, say, Bitcoin maximalists in their circles, or show some skepticism in an Ethereum chat.
You'll find out pretty quickly.
You might just get, cast out, like a digital heathen. Yeah. It's fascinating how fast a new tech starts mirroring these ancient human patterns, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And if we zoom out a bit, connect this to the bigger picture, it's clearly a double-edged sword, this whole thing.
How so?
Well, on one hand, that kind of intense passion can definitely build amazing, really tight-knit communities. And that faith, that belief, it can genuinely drive innovation. We've seen incredible tech leaps fueled by this shared vision of a decentralized future. It pulls in serious talent, serious money.
Sure.
But the danger kicks in when that belief just completely steamrolls logic, when the conviction is so total that, critical thinking goes out the window.
Right, the blind faith aspect.
Exactly. And that's when people start ignoring really obvious red flags, which leads straight to some devastating scams or rug pulls.
Ah, yes, the rug pulls, where the devs just vanish with the money.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it also fuels this kind of intense blind tribalism, which often makes it almost impossible to look at things objectively, to see the real flaws or risks in what you're so deeply invested in emotionally and financially.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for you listening?
I think the core insight here is that crypto isn't just changing money or finance. It seems to be fundamentally changing how people believe, how they form communities, maybe even how they define themselves online. So maybe the next time someone starts passionately telling you about their favorite coin, why you absolutely have to get in on it, just take a step back and ask yourself, is this purely an investment they're talking about? Or is it something more like a new form of faith?